And then let me ask you that brand question. What will be Nigerians' brand today in pain terms? What will it be?
So I'll say, miss every other thing, I'll say transformation in action. We've been able to dump the negative behind us. And today, let's look at the good things that we are experiencing as a country right now. We have about 5 unicorns out of 8 unicorns in Africa, which means that our young people are driving change, which means that we can also do more. We are seeing Nigerian artists shutting down stadiums with Afrobeats around the world. And for me, this is the beginning of good things to come for Nigeria. And I'm so proud that we are here today.
Okay, so it's beautiful that you've brought in the youth population and everything. And one of the problems which the youth have been having has been this breach in communications. So, as somebody who's an expert, where do you see that, that communication gap between the youth, the government, and the society in general? Where's that communication gap coming in as a problem?
So I feel the strategists, the communication experts of the government, I think what they do most importantly, most times is they do a fire brigade approach. They don't use the proactive strategies to ensure that these communications are broken down for every demography. For example, if you want to launch a policy, say 3 months' time, you have to be talking about the policies now. Because Nigerians are not fools. Nigeria understand. Nigeria, this is a very big country with a lot of brilliant people. So if you look them in the eyes and tell them, this is why we are doing this thing is paining you, we want to fix it. But if you come just 3 months and you just launch it on them, then there will be pushbacks, and you think those pushbacks are because they don't like the country. No, it's because you are not strategic enough to be proactive in your communication policy.
So the strategy has to be ahead of time. Bring people in, make sure that they're carried along.
Yes.
Now let's go back to that youth. You've trained a lot of youths, thousands of them, right? How do we channel that youth budge to become something that becomes a real advantage for the nation? Because according to statistics, the more we grow, the more problems it might turn out to if we don't strategically position it.
I don't know if you've heard from people globally, they're saying Nigerian talents are the best. Nigerian talents are resilient, Nigerian talents are patient, they are innovative, and they are forward-thinking. So for me, now that we know we have the talent, I'll borrow from the words of Yola Boyeji, the founder of Adela, and of course Flutterwave. He said something that of course is very important, that Nigerian young people of this country, they need infrastructure. It is not just about training. When they now have the skills, do they have infrastructure to practice, to show that they can do these things? You understand? So he said something that is quite catchy too. He said, in Nigeria today, we don't have a facility that can host about 3,000 young people with free internet and power supply so that they could create, innovate, and change the landscape, as it were. So for me, I want to think that is our problem. Nigerian youths have the platforms from the government agency, from private CSR and whatnot. They train them every day. So this is what I've also experienced. We've seen situations where we train people and they just feel like, oh, I have this idea, but sir, I need startup capital. So apart from infrastructure, the young people of this country, they need access to capital to start off something. Because as it is now, SME is a driving force in the economy. We have about 89, according to Sweden, we have about 70 to 89 million small businesses. And guess what? They fail within the 3 years of starting the business. So if they have access to capital, there's infrastructure, the government creates a level playground for everybody, I think we'll have a better Nigeria and the brand will be big and huge for our country.